Hi, good day. It's Jackie, and we're going to do some yoga again together. So take a few minutes to put out your yoga mat if you have one. If you don't have one, you can just lie on the floor. It's fine. If you have a blanket or a thick towel, you can use to pad your knees. Sometimes people like that under their neck when they're lying down. Those things can be helpful. And then if you could just go into a room where you can close the door and be undisturbed for the next 45 minutes, that would be great. And you can turn off your phones and turn off your computers. Just give yourself a little bit of time to take care of yourself. So go ahead and get yourself situated. We're going to start today lying down on our back. So I'm going to go ahead and lie down on the floor. Once you're on your back, you can pull your knees into your chest and just begin to notice. So you can start by rocking side to side, and we want to pay a little extra attention to the low back. So as you rock side to side, just see how that area of your body is feeling today. And then you might continue to sway side to side, or you could make circles with your knees. And maybe that helps you get a little more awareness of your back. You want to move in a way that feels nice, or you might think about massaging your back. And then just let your feet come down to the floor. You can keep your knees bent, and if it's comfortable or more comfortable to let the feet come a little bit wider and the knees touch, you can just let your legs rest for a moment. And then take your hands and wrap them around your shoulders and rock here. So now you can massage your upper back, and since you're literally giving yourself a hug, you can just pat yourself on the back and say some nice, kind things to yourself. And then switch the way you're crossing your arms. Keep swaying, keep rocking, keep patting yourself on the back. And then bring your hands down by your sides. And for a few rounds of breath, just notice. Just notice where you're touching the floor. Be aware of any sensations in your body, any areas that feel comfortable or uncomfortable. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, you could even close your eyes for a moment, just beginning to turn away from all the concerns and to-dos of your day and beginning to bring your awareness and your attention into your body, to start to notice your body, to start to notice your breath. So as you begin to notice your breath, see if you can breathe in and out through your nose, and slowly begin to let the inhale be a little bit deeper and the exhale be a little bit longer. And then we're going to start to move our arms slowly, coordinating the movement with the breath. So as you inhale the next time, sweep your arms up over your head toward the floor behind you. And as you exhale, bring your arms down by your sides. Breathe through your nose. Do that a couple of times. So inhale your arms up over your head. You can spread the fingers and reach a little bit to get a little bit nicer stretch. Exhale down. Firm your belly a little bit as you bring your hands down. You're kind of hugging in the belly. Inhale, your hands up over your head. Breathe through your nose as you exhale your arms down by your sides. And then you can pause when your hands get down to the floor and pull your knees up towards your chest and make some little gentle ankle circles. And then moving the legs in a similar way, inhale, straighten your legs toward the ceiling. And here you can spread your toes and let your heels lift up. On the exhale, bend your knees. You could even point the toes here, give the toes a little squeeze. Inhale, reach the legs up, spread your toes. Exhale, bend the knees. You can point your toes if you like. And then do that again. Inhale, legs up. And notice the stretch along the backs of the legs. Exhale, bend the knees. This time as you straighten the legs, lift both arms as well. So lift your arms up and your legs up on the in-breath. And as you exhale, bend your knees and lower your arms. And we're going to repeat that 2-3 more times, depending on how fast you're breathing. So inhaling up and exhaling down. So you want to start to coordinate your movement with your breath. So if you're breathing a little bit slower than me, or you're breathing a little bit faster, that's fine. Let your breath be as slow as is comfortable for you. Let's do one more time. Up. And then exhale, come down. And then take your feet back down to the floor. Take a moment to just notice. And then lie flat. So let your legs stretch out on the floor. We're still going to flex the feet. And from this position, inhale your arms up over your head. And on your exhale, bring your arms down and draw your right knee into your chest. You can give it a little hug with your hands and kind of squeeze that right hip. And on your inhale, stretch your leg down as your arms go back up over your head. And then exhale, bring the left knee in, nice and slow. Give it a little hug with your hands. And then inhale, stretch the leg out, arms up. So as you go back to the other side, right leg, this time you could think about lifting your chest up towards your knee. Maybe that's not great for your neck. Inhale. So if it doesn't feel good for your neck, you can skip the head lifting. Otherwise, exhale, left knee in and lift your chest if you like. Inhale, back out. We'll do each side one more time. So exhale, right knee draws in. Give it a little hug. Slow inhale to stretch out. Breathe through your nose. Exhale, left knee draws in. Inhale, stretch back out. And this time, exhale both knees into your chest. And give them a hug. You can lift your chest if you like, and then put your head back down and do that little swaying movement again. And then let your feet come down to the floor with the knees bent. Please stretch your arms out to the sides so that they're on the floor a little bit lower than your shoulders. So when we bring them up high, it tends to scrunch the shoulders up, and we want to let the shoulders drop down. So let them be a little bit lower than your shoulders. Turn the palms down. While your arms are still out to the side in this T position, inhale and just lengthen your arms. You might feel how the chest expands a little bit. And when you exhale, pick your feet up off the floor and draw your knees into your chest. Keep your knees touching. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, let both knees sway to one side. So keep them touching and go over a few inches. And then inhale back to the center. And then exhale, go over to the other side. Inhale, center. So how does that feel for your back? So exhale to the side. You're going to keep going side to side. Inhale to the center with the knees together, knees touching. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, center. So depending on how that feels for your back, you can keep the movement small, or you can exhale all the way over toward the floor, touching your elbows toward your knees toward your elbows, Inhale, center. And then exhale to the other side. So again, the movement could be quite small, or you could go all the way over and touch the floor. Inhale, center. Try to keep your knees together. So a couple more to each side. Go with your own breath. The exhale takes you over. The inhale lifts you up, and try to keep your knees together. And then exhale. If you can go pretty far, draw your knees closer to your elbow. So they're going up towards your chest. So this is a little safer for the low back. And the inhale lifts you up. And we'll go to the other side one more time. And inhale back up. And then bring your feet back down to the floor. Wrap your hands around your shoulders. Give yourself a little rocking hug. And then bring your hands down by your sides with the palms facing down. So we did just a little abdominal work there, little twisting movement. And we're going to just stretch out the front of the body a little bit before we do the next thing. So let your hands come beside you with the palms down. And your knees are bent pretty deep, where the feet are pretty close to the body. When you inhale, lift your hips up off of the floor, so you get to open up the front of the body. And then exhale, as you touch down, hug your belly in. And do that a couple more times. So inhale up, just this opening feeling in the front of the hips. Exhale down. And you may also notice that the back of the body, the hamstrings, the glutes, work a little bit here. Exhale down. Let's do one more repetition. Inhale up. Good. Exhale down. And then we're going to roll over to the side and come onto hands and knees. So just roll over gently. Please use your hands to push yourself up. That helps to protect the neck. And when you come onto hands and knees, you may find it helpful to pad your knees. So if you did get a blanket or a towel or something. You can use that to pad your knees. And then we're going to come into the tabletop position. So all fours. Stack your joints up. So have your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Inhale, let the chest lift. We're still going to move with our breath. On the exhale, pull the navel in, round back. Let the elbows touch, let the hips sink back, let the head bow down. And then inhale back up to all fours. Let's do that again. Exhale. A little rounding in the back as you go back. Inhale, just gliding back up to all fours. I'm kind of pulling my hands toward my knees. Exhale back. This time as you glide up, pick up your right leg, stretch it back behind you, and lift your chest a little bit. And then put your knee down. Exhale, fold your hips back. And then do your left leg this time. Come up on the inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale down, fold back. Do that again. Right leg lifts on the inhale. Exhale down, fold back. And then come up on the inhale, lift your left leg. Just getting a little bit of movement in the hips. Exhale down and fold back. And then inhale up to all fours. Take a moment to spread your fingers just a little bit more and then tuck your toes under, push up to downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs a little bit. See what you feel. Keep breathing, smooth and slow. And then inhale down to your knees and come up to stand on your knees. And if you can for this part, tuck your toes under. It's just a good way to stretch your feet. And if you need padding under your knees, get that extra padding under your knees. So this next movement is similar to what we were doing when we were lying on the floor. We're just going to inhale the arms up over our head and look up and reach up. And then exhale your arms down by your sides, pulling in the belly, this hugging in feeling. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. So this movement, a little bit like that bridge pose we did on the floor, opening up the front of the body. Inhale. How does that feel for your low back? Exhale down. We'll do that one more time. Just going at your own pace. You can go a little faster or even a little slower if you like. Inhale up. And exhale down. And then pause. Check out your neck. Check out your shoulders. And then put your hands back down on the mat. We're going to do a little sequence with these movements put together. So please inhale and lift your chest. Exhale, go back to child's pose. So you can let your elbows touch down as your hips fold back. And then inhale up to all fours again, tabletop. Tuck your toes under and exhale to downward facing dog. Go slow. Inhale to your knees. A little lift of the chest as your knees touch down. Exhale back to child's pose. And this inhale, we're going to stand up on our knees. So lift your arms and your chest up toward the ceiling. This is called a lightning bolt pose. Exhale all the way back down to child's pose. Inhale to tabletop, all fours. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to your knees. Exhale back to child's pose. And again, up to the sky. So inhale up. Exhale all the way down to the mat. Folding back to child's pose. Inhale to all fours. Tuck your toes. Exhale to downward facing dog. Again, inhale to your knees. Little lift of the chest here. Exhale to child's pose, letting the elbows touch. And then up to the sky with your arms. Inhale up. Exhale down. We're going to do the whole thing one more time. Inhale to all fours. Spread the fingers. Exhale to downward dog. Inhale to your knees. Exhale to child's pose. Inhale all the way up to the sky with your arms. One more time. exhale down to child's pose, and this time you could just stay in child's pose. So you could stack your hands up and rest your forehead on your hands. If you like, you could sway here, noticing your hips and your low back, or perhaps you just like downward dog and you push yourself up to downward facing dog pose and you hold there. So either child's pose or downward dog. What feels good for you? If you're in downward dog, a little bend in the knees can be quite nice. Stretch out the back of the body. And then from wherever you are, come to your hands and knees. So if you were in child's pose, push up. If you're in downward dog, come down and just place your hands underneath your shoulders. So I'd like you to take your left leg back and let the toes of that left foot touch the floor. While that foot is on the floor, take your right arm out to the side, and as you inhale, roll the chest open into a little twist. Good. Exhale. Let that arm float all the way back down to the floor. Turn your eyes down, and then let the inhale sweep it back up again. How does that feel on that right side? Exhale. Let that arm float all the way down. Now inhale. Let that arm go up, and see if you can hold here on the exhale. And when you inhale, straighten that left leg a little more and let that raised arm go over towards your head. And then exhale back up. Do that again. Inhale, arm towards your head. Good. Exhale back up. Hold on your inhale. Can you open a little more? Good. Exhale down to the floor. Fold back. So if you need to shake out that left wrist a little bit, do that. Sway a little bit in your child's pose. And then come on up to all fours. We'll do the sequence on the other side with the little twist. I'm just going to turn around so I'll be facing you when I open up into the twist. So this time we'll take the right leg back, and the toes can be on the floor. And as you're ready, on the inhale, let your left arm sweep up, open up. Exhale, let it float down, let the eyes turn down, pull the belly in. Inhale, let it rise up. Exhale, let it float down. What are you noticing in this side? Now we're going to hold. Inhale, open. Hold on the exhale. Pull your belly in. And on your inhale, see if you can straighten your right leg more as you sweep the raised arm over beside your head. And as you exhale, bring it back up. Pull your belly in. Do that again. Inhale beside your head. How's the left shoulder? Exhale back up. And then stay one more inhale. Try to open up a little bit more if you can. And then exhale down to the floor. Fold back. And then come up to your hands and knees and to this little pose we call puppy pose. So you put your elbows down on the floor. And you can let your hips sway. You can wag your tail. And depending on how your shoulders are feeling and your neck is feeling today, you could open up the shoulders a bit more by taking your hands out in front of you and moving your forehead closer to the floor. So for some people this feels great, and for other people it's a little much in the shoulders. So see how that feels. Also might be a little bit of a curve in your back, maybe too much. So you're welcome to do it on your elbows. That's a good option. So from wherever you are, come up onto your elbows and then push up to your hands. Tuck the toes back up to the big dog, downward facing dog. And then please come up to standing. And if you did use some cushioning there for your knees, you can take that out of the way. Once you're standing, you can circle your shoulders a little bit, see how you're feeling. Maybe even pausing for a couple of breaths to just notice the sensations in your body. Again, it's a good opportunity to check in. We're going to step the feet out a little bit wide here. We're going to do a little forward fold sequence. So when we go forward with the upper body, we're going to be bending the knees a lot. So you can step your feet out shoulder width apart or a bit wider if you like. Touch your hands to your hips. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, bend your knees a lot, almost like a squat. You're going to send your hips back and slide your hands down your legs. The upper body is just coming down with a flat back. And then inhale back up, the same, flat back. So don't round your back to come down. So exhale, slide your hands down. Inhale, slide your hands back up your legs. Now the next time we're going to go down and hold the forward fold, and we're going to lift up with this cactus arm position. So you might try it here, and then exhale your hands to your hips, bend your knees, slide down into the little forward fold. And then on your inhale, lift your cactus arms up, lift your chest a little bit. Good. And then exhale, back down, let your hands touch. Do that again, little lift, inhale. Good, exhale, bow back down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, little lift. You might feel your back muscles working. Exhale down. And this time just slide your hands up your legs, come up to standing. And take a moment to move your shoulders, maybe even jiggling the hips a little bit. Good. And then we're going to do a little lateral move, a side bending movement. You can adjust the distance between your feet if you feel like you're a little bit wide, or you can have them wider if you like. So this time, inhale your arms out to the side all the way up. And on the exhale, we're only going to let the left arm come down. And when you inhale, lift your right hand up higher and lift your right heel up. Come up onto the toes. Good. Exhale, put your heel down and lean over. Where can you go? And then on the inhale, we're going to lift back up. Lift the arm, lift the heel. And then we're going to exhale, put the heel down, lean over. Pull your belly in here. Inhale, lift the heel, lift your hand, get long. Exhale, lower your heel down, lean over, and then we're going to stay here. So as you hold on the inhale, try to open your chest. As you hold on the exhale, firm your belly. Do that one more time. Inhale, little lifting. Maybe you're looking up a little bit. Exhale. Now, inhale all the way up. Don't lift that heel up. Just come up to the center. Let that arm float down as you exhale. And notice. So what are the sensations on the right side? What about the left side? What are you noticing? Okay, and then we'll do the little side bend to the other side. Inhale your arms up. So this time we're going to keep the left arm up and just let the right hand come down. Inhale, lift your hand and your heel up off the floor. Good. Exhale, put your heel down, lean over to the side. What do you feel? Inhale, the heel lifts, the hand lifts. Exhale, lower your heel down. Go to the side, pull your belly in. Inhale, lift your heel, lift your hand. This one we're going to stay. So exhale over, pull your belly in. And while you hold on the inhale, just try to open up the left side. Hold on the exhale. Maybe you lift your eyes. One more opening in-breath. Hold on your exhale. This inhale, come up, but you can keep that left heel down and then down. Again, what do you notice on the two sides? And then we're going to do a forward fold again, but this time we're going to come all the way down to the floor with our hands and do like a wide leg downward dog. So please exhale your hands down the sides of your legs as you bend the knees. Find the floor with your hands, and then you can start to walk your hands out on the floor. Try to keep your heels down so you're not walking too far forward. You want to keep your hips pretty much over your heels, and then you can kind of pedal out your legs. Nice thing for the neck is to just let the head hang here, to turn your head a little bit. Pedal out your legs if you like. You can adjust the distance between your feet. Maybe that feels a little too wide for you. Maybe you'd like to have them closer. And then another breath. The next time you inhale, walk your hands back up underneath your shoulders and look up. Exhale, bend both knees a lot and touch the sides of your body. And we'll inhale up to standing like we did a little bit ago in that forward fold. And then step your feet back in. Give everything a little shake. Shake your legs, shake your hands, jiggling, shaking. Super good technique. There's this little technique, it's called rebounding. So if you've ever seen one of those mini trampolines, it's called a rebounder. And when you jump on it, things jiggle. So you can mimic that by just letting everything shake. So if you let your knees be soft and your arms jiggle, you just want everything to jiggle a lot. You can even kind of lift your heels up and bounce a little bit on your heels. Everything shakes a little bit. So do some shaking. It's good for you. And then lie back down on your back. So come on back down to the floor. Bring your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a hug. See how it feels to lie on your back again. Like we did at the beginning, we'll sway. Massage the back a little bit. You can move your ankles. Shake your feet. Again, and all of this shaking is good for you. And then take your feet to the floor. And again, like we did at the beginning, maybe even closing the eyes for a moment, just noticing where you're touching the floor, bringing your attention, your awareness into your body, noticing how you feel, noticing your breath. And then, again, like we did at the beginning, a simple movement where we coordinate our movement with our breathing. So I'm going to walk the feet out to the edges of the mat or wider than your hips if you're not on a yoga mat. And this little windshield wiper movement, we exhale both knees to one side, and then we inhale both knees back up to the center. So exhale to one side, inhale to the center. This is a nice, gentle twist. It allows you to notice your hips, notice your knees. Inhale, center, exhale. You get a little stretch in the front of the legs. Exhale. And for most people, even if you have low back pain, this gentle twist is pretty accessible. So the next time you go to the left side, hold there. And we're going to hold the twist for a few breaths. So if you have discomfort in your hip or your knee on either side, grab that blanket or a block or a pillow and support your legs so that you can hold and it doesn't feel uncomfortable for you. And then a few breaths to just notice this left side. So the front of the leg, the front of the hip, your rib cage. You could stretch that arm out to the side or even let that right arm stretch up over your head. So if your knees are to the left, we're stretching the right side. I can't remember what I said, but we're stretching the right side. Let out a little sigh. Take a couple of deeper breaths. And then bring your arm down if it's up over your head. Gently bring your knees up to the center. Take a moment to move your hips, move your shoulders so they feel even again, and the feet might even need to move out a little bit wider again. And then we're going to go to the right with both knees and hold that. So again, if you have any pain, discomfort in your hips or your knees, or maybe you've had, one of those joints replaced, a hip or a knee replacement, you can use some support under your legs so you make it accessible to hold. It doesn't hurt. And then a few breaths to scan the left side, so your hip, your front of your leg, your rib cage, and then that left arm can just stretch out to the side or even reach up over your head a bit. Just finding the spot where it feels nice, feels okay. So a few deeper breaths here. Feel free to close your eyes even. And then gently release that side. So you can bring that arm down. If you lifted it, you can bring your knees back up. And again, a couple of breaths to just resituate your hips and your shoulders so everything feels even. And then we're going to repeat that bridge pose, that hip lifting movement to open up the front of the body. It's also a symmetrical movement, which is good to follow the twisting movements with some symmetrical movement. So you're going to have your feet lined up with your hip bones, so they're not way out to the side and they're not touching, but they're just hips, knees, heels all lined up. And then the hands can be palms down by your side again. So please inhale and lift your hips up and see what you feel in the front of the body. And exhale, lower your hips back down, just taking a few breaths like that. So just see how smoothly you can coordinate the movement and the breathing. And you're inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Inhale and lift. And exhale down. And then for the next one, if you want to lift and hold, you can lift and hold the pose, or you could just keep going up and down with your breath. That's fine too. If you're choosing to hold the pose, just look straight up so you're not turning your head while you're holding here. You can take some breaths that are a little bit deeper. So you feel the openness of the front of the body and a little bit of work in the back of the body, hamstrings, glutes, even your back muscles, helping you to lift a little bit. So when you get to your next inhale, please come down or stay down if you're moving up and down. Pull your knees back up into your chest, and one more time you can sway or rock. Some people like a little lifting of the chest here after that movement. See if that feels good for you, and then put your head back down. So one more time, put your feet on the floor. Again, it may feel nice to have the feet a little bit wide and the knees touching, and just let your hands rest somewhere on your body. Maybe they're on your belly, on your rib cage. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, just close your eyes and begin to let go of any effort to control your breath, so just normal breath. And just scanning your attention down your body from your head to your toes, just aware of any sensations. You might notice where you feel the movement of your breath. And we're beginning to settle down to move toward the relaxation pose, toward Shavasana. So we always complete our practice with this final pose. So for this part, our main goal is to be comfortable so that you can rest still for a little while. So many people lie flat for this pose and they just stretch the legs out flat, and it's comfortable. But many people, it doesn't feel so good, like it doesn't feel comfortable in the back, or the legs just felt better when the knees were bent. So you choose. You could put a blanket under your knees or a cushion or a pillow under your knees. You could put a eye pillow over your eyes. Just do whatever feels comfortable for you. You could have your hands on your body because it feels nice, or you could have your hands by your sides with the palms facing up, which is a nice open position. So just letting go now, letting yourself find rest, be comfortable. So see if you can give yourself about 5-10 minutes here to finish your practice. I'm going to close with a little closing prayer. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. And may you live with ease. May we all be happy. May we all be safe. May we all be healthy. And may we all live with ease. So again, I encourage you to continue to let your body rest for 5-10 minutes, or a minimum of 12 more breaths. You could count your breath if you like. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.